for anybody who is within Gen Z and as a young teenager or just a young adult, a big thing we have to understand is that sex is not an essential thing. And we have to not allow ourselves to feel bad and feel peer pressure to do sexual acts or do sexual things with somebody, especially if we don't even care about them, and especially so young. Like, we're only young. We're so young. We have so much of our lives to do these things, to do the things that we want to do with somebody. We don't have to feel pressured or feel like it's a necessity at a young age because it's not. But you focus your mind only on that and that alone, you're allowing yourself to be stuck in that perspective. And then you're forgetting all the other great things that are happening in your life. You forget all the great things that can happen because you're too stuck on sex and trying to have sex with somebody and trying to have some type of feeling or type of experience with somebody. And it's not important. And that's one thing I wish I understood when I was younger. Like, whether it's having a relationship or having sex with somebody, it's not important. It shouldn't be a primary thing that we think about. It shouldn't be a goal that we have for ourselves. Because whatever we're supposed to experience is what we're supposed to experience. We can't try to force it. We can't. Because by forcing it, you can get yourself into some situations that you just don't want to be in. You can't. Like, as I've said before, sex is just a beautiful thing that it's a beautiful experience that we take for granted. That people in my generation, especially, just take for granted and just do it willy nilly just because they feel like it's cool or just because they feel like it's the norm. And it's become really normalized nowadays in my society. Not I mean in my generation, which isn't a good thing, and we just take it for granted. We take for granted how beautiful the experience is. We just take it as a goal. We see it as a goal, as something to just accomplish and not to value and enjoy. So if you're a young kid, you don't gotta worry about that. You're too young to even be thinking about that. You shouldn't even be thinking about that. You should be enjoying life, not worrying about an experience that you can have later on in life. Like, what's the rush? There's no rush into doing it. And I feel like it's a thing where we can get peer pressured by people our age who have done it, who are younger than us. And then by hearing that they've done it before and knowing maybe that we haven't done it before, we feel pressured that, oh, I have to do it so I can fit in. So I'm not the odd one out. It's kind of overrated at the end of the day. It's all that's overrated. All of that means nothing. And I felt like when I was younger, like there was one time when I was in high school, and there were some of my buddies that they've done it, and I hadn't done it. And just knowing that they had done it at my age and I hadn't, I did kind of feel some type of way. I felt like I wasn't, like we weren't the same. Like I really wouldn't be able to relate to them in any way, in any in any way, because they've experienced so much more than me that I just haven't been able to experience it. So I just felt like I was just out of the loop. That I was alone a little bit. But like now, like having done that experience, I can now see that I I'm glad I didn't experience that when I was younger. I can see that I'm glad. I can see that it was worth the wait. Like it was like me not experiencing that back then when I was a teenager and all that. Like it was worth it. Like I became okay with it. Because I mean, it wasn't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't something I needed to rush. And I feel like if you do want to rush it, if you do want to rush that experience with somebody, you're too focused on trying to become validated by others or trying to fit in with others and what they're doing. You got to understand their experience is their experience and your experience is your experience. And I mean, you want your experience to be special. You don't want it to be just something that you did just cause or just cause you can fit in. That fitting in stuff, it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. Get out of your head about that. Get get all that out of your head. You have to refocus your attention on something else and not on that. Don't take for granted that. You have to enjoy life being young. Like, enjoy being a kid. Enjoy where you are now. Enjoy where you are now and not where you're not. Enjoy where you are now and not where you aren't. Be present of where you are right now. Whatever is for you is for you. And by understanding that, you can understand things that aren't for you. You can become more accepting of things that just aren't for you and experiences that you're just not supposed to experience. We have to become more clear of that. We have to become more aware of that. And by doing that, it just makes things easier. One thing I want y'all to know is that you should never feel peer pressure to do something, even if it's some type of experience like sex. You never feel peer pressure that you have to just so you can fit in. Because if you ever feel that type of peer pressure from people, those aren't your people. And they worried about the wrong things because that's not important. It's not. It's not. It's really not important. I promise you. Focus on other things that are going on in your life, not that. Focusing on trying to have an experience, you lose sight of how special the experience can be. The experience may not be as special as you may have wanted it to be. Looking back, it may not have been. And I hear people that regret doing it with people that they didn't find special to the heart, who they didn't find special to them. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. So, yeah, I just want to wrap this little message up and say, yeah, focus on other things that are going well in your life. Don't focus on that, on just sex. Don't focus on just trying to have an experience with somebody. The experience will come when it's supposed to come. And until then, you just have to focus on all the other great things going on in your life. It's as simple as that. But I love y'all. I wanted to give y'all this little video because, I ain't give y'all a video in a minute and it's getting dark, but I just had to give y'all this little video because I feel like this was something, I dealt with when I was younger and something I had to learn. So, yeah. I love y'all. Stay safe. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. All right. Peace.